Okay, let's quickly look at NAS, and I hope you guys are well. Quickly. Obviously, from weekly, we need to identify and structure. And one of the structures that we can see is basically where these sellers are up there. So let me see if I can mark this region. Okay, this is where the sellers are actually waiting. Okay, so you can see that particular area there, and the price it's currently sitting on that zone. There's a potential of probably seeing a gap much higher. Okay, but make sure that you avoid buying this resistance, because somewhere there you might get trapped. There's a potential of seeing that push to the upside and later on returning, which will result in a pin bar. That is possible, but this structure might hold nicely. You can see that price went into some sort of a weird let's say upside the range there in that fashion. Okay, it didn't push up with a huge momentum because of this selling pressure coming from there. However, what we'd like to see, if you are a buyer, like I've said before, you don't want to find yourself buying extremely high. So what you want to do, you can see that the last H4 candle pushed nicely. Of course, this was due to the news. This was due to the news. So yes, there is a potential of this thing going further up, but please make sure that you do not ignore this trend line. We could see price pushing up and up, and probably coming back to collect the buyers. I will show you just now. Because there's a bunch of buyers that are waiting. So let me just bring you down to this particular pattern down here. You can see that price had a bunch of sellers. There were sellers there. You can see that red dot, sellers, and price broke out of that aggressively. I think I might have broken down this in a video on the Telegram channel. So check the link in the description box below to the Vindi Telegram channel. That's where you'll see other videos that did not make it to YouTube. Otherwise, you can see this sellers there. Price broke up, came back to retest those sellers. The same pattern actually took place here. You can see here the red dot showing us sellers there, other sellers there. Price broke up, okay, came back to retest, and then went up. Now, what's next? What's next? Let's see if we can identify a group of sellers somewhere up here. Okay. Of course, if you join a trend line, if you don't know how to draw trend lines, check a video that I've done on how to correctly draw trend lines. It's here on the channel once more. So if you connect that one and that one, you can see that price broke up aggressively with no pullback or retest. And if you come down here, you can see sellers there, indicated by that, sellers there, price just went up. However, there was a quick retest that took place somewhere in space. You can see by this pin bar, because price was once down there and then went up. I usually tell people that once you see this, okay, once you see that, let me see maybe if I can show you something nice. I might have taught this before. Once you see this or that, this particular pushing, the wick or the shadow, whatever I want to call it, the tail, whatever I want to call it, this right here signifies in my head two things. Number one, rejection of price or fake out or fake breakout. This is the story that I get from the pin bars. Okay, as long as I can look at this wick, the wick is representing rejection or fake out. It's very important to understand that. Now let me bring you back to the charts so that you can see this. So you can see that price went in, okay? After breaking out, it went back in and then closed higher. So I know there were a bunch of people were probably selling when price was going back in. But what happened when it went back up? That was a fake out. That break out back into the trend line here. Okay. Similar to this right here, you can see that price was down there attempting to break out of this support. You can see these buyers presented by this green dot. You can see a group of buyers there. Okay. Price went down attempting to break that, then went back up. Then what was that? Was a fake out or rejection of price, meaning buyers and then rather sellers were rejected, because look at where the wick is. This wick is down there, meaning that sellers who went down got rejected. Even this one, sellers got rejected. Even there, sellers got rejected, but they got rejected on support, which makes sense, and then price pushed lower. So we could see a push higher first. Okay, we could see a push higher followed by some sort of a correction somewhere in space. But the next point that makes sense, I was trying to think of this sellers indicated by this red dots, but I can see that there are other sellers there on that structure. Okay, so if price continues going up, there's a potential of it coming back to retest those and then continues back up. So it's possible that we might actually check this weekly zone out, the weekly zone that I've highlighted there, or that particular high point there. It might be taken out in June. Okay, so we could see this thing potentially going to 10,000. There is a room for that, but we need to identify space, or rather areas where these buyers are gonna start accumulating from. So you can see the monthly candle have closed now. The monthly candle have closed now. So it closed extremely bullish. Okay, so most likely to get a bit of a correction somewhere in the middle of the month, followed by that to the upside. Okay, if we do not get that, obviously price will start by going up and then later on come back to that broken structure, because this is the highest that Nasdaq have ever seen. So that's what we might see next month. You can see that the bulls, they closed extremely high. They closed extremely high. So that level is most likely to be taken out. This very same zone that I've identified up here, it's most likely to be taken out by the buyers. However, make sure that as a buyer, you know where you are going to buy. Do not just buy just because some weird nigga out there is saying buy, it's going up. Look for areas where you're gonna buy, because that makes it easier on you psychologically. And when it comes to planning, plan your trades, obviously, guys, and trade your plan. Make sure that you train your you plan your trades and stick to the plan, right? So if I was to make this easy, yes, this thing, there's a room to the upside. You can see there's that channel, there's a room. We might potentially see some sort of a breakout there next week. Okay, followed by that, followed by that move. So to correct more bias, if you want to connect the trend line there and there, you can see that there are other bias that are not too far. So we might see that nice push to the upside. That is a that's gonna be a very good opportunity. But don't just buy this resistance. Wait for price to gather more buyers, to get more buyers. Do not just chase price. You can see even here, you can see that this was not retested, meaning that this trend line is housing a lot of buyers. Okay, I believe this is easy because I'm just looking at structure. I'm not doing any sort of weird strategies. Once more, you need more strategies in order to survive in this thing. You need more profitable strategies in order to survive. But yeah, I'm just using support and resistance, nothing weird. Okay, so this is you can look at this. This is very Very nice. Let me correct something. I might have taught this. I've seen people saying this is a head and shoulder pattern, and I'm still trying to understand how did we get the inverse head and shoulder pattern on resistance, because this is supposed to be landing on support. Okay, supposed to be like that, meaning the trend should be coming in that direction in order for us to get this inverse head and shoulder. But look at where this trend is coming from. Okay, because if it's like this, then we use it as a reversal. The breakout of that neckline, we use it as a reversal of what? Of this trend. We're changing, we're reversing, we're doing a U-turn. But look at this. If price is going up there and we're identifying this as a head and shoulder pattern, okay, what reversal is this thing telling us after break of a neckline? You can see that it says continue, and this is not a continuation pattern. Okay, it is a reversal pattern. So the correct head and shoulder that we're supposed to see, it's not the inverse, but the normal head and shoulder, which is something of this nature, because it's on resistance. You want to see this one on resistance, you want to see this one on support, and the trend should be coming there to support. This one, the trend should be heading towards the resistance. I might have shared this on our Wednesday class. It's very important, guys, to know how to use these patterns, whether this is continuation or this is reversal. Unfortunately, the head and shoulder, it's more of a continuation pattern, because I mean reversal pattern, sorry, a reversal pattern. If you want to use this as continuation, notice how if you want to buy here, already you're fighting against this. Okay, that's why I'm saying do not do this thing here. This is particularly a reversal pattern. So trend should be more or less moving in that direction, and then you find that nice head and shoulder, or it's coming down like that. Okay, and then you find that nice inverse head and shoulder, which is this. But this one, the trend is doing this, and the head and shoulder that we're seeing, it's this one for a downtrend. Okay, so please don't confuse these things. Maybe you've seen other people using this as continuation, but this is a reversal pattern. Okay, this is a reversal pattern, obviously. Okay, so I hope it makes a bit of sense. So there is a potential of us seeing price reaching the 10,000 area in June, but of course I will keep on updating this. I do not want to speculate a lot. Okay, so otherwise, sharp. Let's see. Maybe there is bias somewhere on 30 minutes that we need to retest. Okay, these ones I've already highlighted. Okay, this point, that point. Okay, you can see that, like I've said, even there were like these sellers and those sellers, they were retested nicely with thin bars. Price went up, it broke, came back, retested, went up. Okay, so the same pattern that we've been seeing, even there you can see sellers there and sellers. Price broke, came back, retested. Okay, so we've been seeing almost the same pattern taking place. All right, we've seen that pattern, and we can see a bunch of buyers there sitting on structure. Okay, so these guys were responsible mostly for this. Of course, this was induced by fundamental, but if you were to try to align like I think I might have said this during the private classes on how to align the news, or rather the fundamentals, with the charts. It's very important to be able to align the data that's being released, okay, with the charts. Don't just go in blindly. Thou shalt see fire, thou shalt burn with the 2000 disciples, because we are 2000 on the Telegram channel. So 2000 disciples. I hope it makes sense. Okay, yeah, that's it from me. Should you have any question, hit me up, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video, of course, and dislike. But you can't dislike while you have watched this video to this part where I have to say these things. You can't dislike. You've been enjoying the video. I mean, face it. You've been watching, for how long? I don't know, for 15 minutes, maybe 14 minutes. You can't dislike. Just press a like, and share. All right? Sure. So you might see that collecting bias back to the upside. That's a potential as well. Okay. But that's why I said don't just buy these things. Wait for areas where these buyers are. And those who have been following the telegram, the quick telegram and videos that I've been doing, I've seen your screenshots, guys. It's just that I cannot reply to each and every one of you. But I've seen your screenshots where you were showing me your profits based on the things that I've been saying. Make sure that you're comfortable with your entries. You're not just chasing price. Okay. The question that I always ask people is how much money have you made trying to chase price? How much money have you made trying to chase money? Okay, I will leave you to answer that question. Otherwise, sharp, sharp.